All right, I think it connected. All right, hi you guys. I am just going to get into this. I can't tell if this is, okay, yes it is. All right, good. Here we go. I'm going to show you how I make these kind of oversized see-through zipper pouches. I make these a lot for myself just to keep fabric and patterns together in one spot so that I don't lose stuff. This holds a lot of little 1-inch squares that I've cut out for my next sew along for the mini skull Candy Crush. So I know I would lose them or throw them away if they were just floating around, or on a table. So I make these cases and they are super fast. You might have caught my little YouTube video on how to make the little zippy pouches like this, kind of flat ones. I put these in my purse all the time. I love it. I have all my emergency things in here and things I use a lot like sanitizer and whatnot. So I'm going to move these out of my way quick. I am going to be using this double screen view so that you can see what I'm doing on the table as well as my face here. I'm using clear glitter vinyl, so it's got glitter inside of it. It's not on the surface, so it's smooth and easy to sew and cut. I did want to show you, I do have just plain clear also. I've made zipper pouches with this. It's also wonderful. These also make really good spontaneous gifts if you sew up, 5 or 10 and just have them around. Use colorful zippers. They're super cute and people always appreciate having a zipper pouch to stay organized. I'm also using a number 5 zipper. I have these in my shop also at SewHungryHippie.com. You can use number 3. You can use any zipper you want. It really doesn't matter. I just like these because I can cut it to size and I don't have to worry about the metal zipper stop on the end. So there's my zipper. Oh. Let me move the clear glitter out of the way. I have had some questions about, well, what if I store my vinyl and it gets all bendy and has wrinkles or whatever? And I always say, just get a blow dryer out, your hair dryer, put it on hot, and flatten that baby out. And I'm going to show you. So pretty quickly, it flattens way out. And it's easy to turn and bend and manipulate this way also. I also do that before I flip it right side out, unless I want to work out, and then I won't. But have your blow dryer handy because it's a tool that's really helpful with sewing vinyl. Another thing that you're going to want to need, and I say it all the time and everywhere, is a Teflon foot so that your vinyl doesn't stick. Now with this clear glitter vinyl, I can usually get by without a Teflon foot, but just put it on. It's just easier. You won't, sometimes I've seen it where people will just stay in place and it's not moving. That's because it's sticking. So get yourself a Teflon foot. Also, I usually finger press. You'll see me finger press the zipper later. But if you want to use an iron, you can. Just have a Teflon pressing sheet nearby. And I used to sell these in my shop, but now you can get them online for very cheap. I'm not going to even name that big box retailer because I'm mad at him. Okay, also you will want an acrylic ruler and rotary cutter. I think that it's much easier to cut fabric and vinyl with these tools versus scissors. Because with scissors, when you're doing this, you're manipulating the fabric, you're slightly moving it no matter how careful you are. Okay, so now we'll just jump in. We are going, if you want to make the size I made, which is, kind of ginormous, but I think it's super useful. You want to cut your squares 16 inches by 16 inches. So here are my 2 pieces already cut. Your zipper, you're going to cut at least an inch shorter, less wide. I sometimes will cut mine 1.25 inches shorter. Or if you're a brand new beginner, 1.5 inches is fine too. You just want enough room on these side edges so that you're not sewing over your zipper tabs. I've already ironed my zipper tabs. I cut mine at 2 inches by 2.5. I fold them to the center and then fold again and press. And this is the same in all of my patterns. I really like zipper tabs. I think they make a nice finish and they're easy to do, so why not? However, if you don't like them, leave them off. It won't affect, it'll look a little different, but that's okay. So I use clips all the time when I work with vinyl. I have all different sizes. This is a really big size. Here's kind of a large size. You've probably seen this size. This is what I use because if you try to pin your vinyl, like with, sewing pins, the holes are never going to come out. They don't press out like they do in quilting cotton. So don't do that unless you have to. Now on my soft vinyl, which feels like fabric and looks more like fabric, that I will sometimes use pins on because it just doesn't show. But don't use it on the more plasticky vinyls. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and sew down the zipper tabs and then trim them off. With the zippers that I sell, you can just sew right over them. They look like metal, but they're actually a nylon. So it's awesome. All right, so here's my zipper, and I'm just going to trim it to be even with the zipper tape. Hi Debbie, hi Amy, thanks for being here, you guys. It's a rainy day here in Wisconsin. Feels calm to me. Okay, so I'm gonna move one piece of vinyl because it is harder to see. And I'm going for that top edge. I'm gonna place the zipper right side down. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna trim these threads away. I don't know why I have some threads there. Okay. I'm gonna center this so that I have at least a finger width on each side because I really don't want to sew over those zipper tabs. That gives your corners like a crunched up look, and I don't like that. So this is how I do my zipper cases and pouches and bags and stuff. I always leave some room on the end. Okay, so now I'm just going to sew all the way down that edge. Now I could, I think I'm going to change to my zipper foot. It's just easier to sew zippers with a zipper foot on because it's a skinnier foot and it allows you to just sail right by that zipper pull. Sometimes that can be a problem. You have to stop, lift your foot, and then move the pull out of the way. And it's not terribly annoying, but if you have the tools, it's nice to use them. And I always there is an easy way to do this. I just don't always know it. All right, I'm going to start right in that zipper tab. I'm going to lock stitch. I put a new bobbin in, and sometimes a new bobbin gives me some issues at the very beginning. and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Anyways, just start again. I think it just, yep. Oh, that's just what you want to happen on a live. So if this ever happens to you, you're not the only one. Sometimes you get nesting and threads and no rhyme or reason, like you're just sewing along like you always do, and it happens. So just take it out and rethread. Okay, let's try this again. I should have brought my other machine up here too. Okay, it's attached. Now I'm going to bring it over here. And what I like to do with the vinyl is I just finger press. And I'm pushing the seam allowance down and under. So you can see that. And I'm going to top stitch that. You don't have to, but I like the look of it better. And I think it makes the zipper sit more nicely when the pouch is done. So now I'm going to come all the way down here. I'm going to attempt this with the zipper foot. Yeah, good. And one side is on. It's like pretty much we're halfway done. I like to trim my threads as I go because I'll probably forget later. And now lay your other piece on the surface and flip this over so the right side of the zipper is facing the new piece. And center, match the sides. Match that top edge of the zipper tape with the top edge of the vinyl and clip in place. And now we're just going to repeat the same thing and sew all the way down that edge. I just sailed right by that zipper pull. So now you'll have to open it flat and press that seam allowance down towards the vinyl as well on this side. And I just use my fingers, it works just fine. And now top stitch that edge. So now one of the most important steps is to open your zipper, at least the majority of the way. And then flip your pieces so they're right sides together, so you'll be looking at the wrong side of the zipper here. And match up your side seams and your bottom edges and clip in place. We're going to make the boxed corners so that this pouch stands up nicely when sitting on the shelf. Now it does appear I didn't cut this side exactly correctly, so let me trim that up. Okay, so because my zipper is open, I can sew the sides and the bottom. And I'm gonna do the bottom first because then I know it's not gonna shift. And then I'll do the sides and then we'll cut out our corners. Oh, you know what? I need to switch back to my Teflon foot. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully I can answer them. Okay. Okay, so my bottom is sewn. I'm just checking that seam. It looks good. Now I'm going to sew the sides. Now here I'm going right by the zipper tab. I'm not sewing over it. You might even need to change to your zipper foot for that part. This Teflon foot on this Janome is really wide. It's not this wide on my other machine. So just in case yours is really wide, you may need to switch back to your zipper foot on this part. Oh, I just messed it up. It's because I didn't start in a good place. $10,000 vinyl zipper cases later, and I still have problems once in a while just because of machinery. Start at the bottom so that you're not starting in a thicker spot. We're almost done. Okay, now you can come in here and trim your threads away and do all that. I'm not going to spend too much time just now. Now for the bottom corners, here's the bottom. I'm going to measure over 3 inches, 1, 2, 3, and make a cut. And then 3 inches up, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you haven't done this a ton of times, I do recommend using a marking tool like a Sharpie or something. It will wipe away. And mark your boxes first. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so those are cut out. You can see it there. And now I'm just going to pull it apart. I kind of put my hand in here to make it puff out. And then match that bottom seam with the side seam. And I make one seam go one way and one the other way. And use clips to hold in place. And we're gonna sew right over that edge. And the same for this side. If your seam is pulling apart, you can go back and go over the side and bottom seams again, just in that little area. Sometimes I have to do that, especially with fabric and lots of layers. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And I just kind of scrunch it down and flatten it and put it through the machine like this. I do back stitch. And now for the other side. And then we're done. So fast. And just like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna hit this with the hair dryer real quick. Just warms it up, makes it pliable. And then we're ready to turn it right side out. And you can play around with size. You can do whatever size you want. This formula works for whichever. I like to come in here with my fingers and push out those corners nice and neat. I don't generally use a tool when I'm doing just a vinyl case because it's not hard to push out. And then also for the top, you got to come in and make sure you're pushing those tabs out. And because we didn't sew over them, they'll look really great. And there, in 23 minutes, we've sewn a case. Super easy, just makes great storage. It's waterproof, so sometimes I'll use these when I travel. I haven't traveled in a long time. You can leave off the boxed corners to make it flat, and you can stack a bunch of them in your suitcase if you're a traveler like that. And it will protect your stuff for the most part. I mean, maybe the zipper would leak if like you went 50 feet under the water, but you know, for what we're talking about, general purposes, it's great. So there you go. Anybody have any questions? Let me put this on the screen here. I am thirsty. Can you sew 2 vinyl pieces for the zipper tabs? Debbie, I think you could. I just think it would be stiffer and probably harder to work with and turn out later. But try that. That's a good thought. I haven't done vinyl for the zipper tabs before. I should do that. Thanks for that suggestion. I should see how that works as far as, I would just do the 2 layers. I don't think I would do the 4 layers. You know how mine is folded to the center and then folded again. I think I would just make it like one layer. So for instance, one piece and then just fold it like this, because there won't be any fraying. There's no wrong raw edge. So I think that's what I would do. All right. Okay, I hope it was good for you. I'll try to come back here next Friday. Hopefully the schedule works for people. So in the meantime, you can get the vinyl or the zipper at my shop at So Hungry Hippie. Feel free to share this with your friends, share the video. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to be posting a video every week or every other week there as well. So, all right. I will see you soon. Thanks.